Sore muscles, absolutely free. Text CLASS to 321321.
FetchAI is a Cambridge-based artificial intelligence company building an open access, open source, tokenized, decentralized machine learning network. So here to explain a little bit more about what FetchAI is doing is Mayan Sheikh, the CEO. So great to have you back. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Jane. It's always a pleasure to be speaking to you, and thank you for inviting me to talk about what we do.
Right. Yeah. Well, very cool and interesting company. So why don't, for people that maybe missed the first interview, why don't you give us an overview of what FetchAI is doing?
Sure. FetchAI is building solutions which normal people, small businesses, big businesses can deploy very easily. It's open source, and it's a lot easier to deploy. You don't need very specific skill sets to do it. We are creating all the tools which you need for a decentralized AI so that you're not beholden to big corporates. You can control your data, you can control your own machine learning, but you can work collectively with other parties and do complex machine learning and AI tasks a lot easier than what it is today.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember when we first talked, I thought how cool it was that this would be a good solution for maybe a small business that doesn't want to, hire a big AI firm or have their own AI department, and they get to control their data, which is something that people, I feel like, are getting more concerned about.
Absolutely. And I think what needs to be understood is AI is not going to be a choice. AI is not going to be an option. AI is going to be mandatory. So you will need to do machine learning and AI tasks if you want to survive now.
Tell me about the collective learning framework. What is that, and how can businesses benefit from that?
Right. As the name suggests, it's about collectively learning of different algorithms and machine learning algorithms and AI. So the purpose of collective learning is to enable businesses, people, different entities to actually learn from data which is sitting in different places and do a collective learning process whereby everybody benefits from everybody's data without actually sharing the data. So, for example, if you look at what's been happening with COVID-19 and you wanted to analyze X-rays of lungs, for example, and that's by the way, a demonstration we've recently done, that you could learn from each other's data sets without sharing the data and improve very quickly the detection of COVID-19, for example, or any problem symptoms in the lungs. It's a very interesting space we're in. We have a whole world who needs to collaborate to do things, but we are quite siloed in terms of where the data sits. So this unlocks all of that. So you don't need to move the data around. You make your algorithms learn from wherever the data is and then collaborate with everybody.
Okay, very interesting, and could be a real problem solver. So what kind of real world applications is this technology being applied to right now?
Well, you could apply to many different things, but I think it's quite interesting where the most impact is coming from. So if you look at healthcare, for example, you have different hospitals. There is a huge issue about the customer's privacy, clients or patients' privacy, and you can if you could actually remove that barrier and you could actually have a system whereby all the hospitals can sign up to.
Okay, and then finally, come on, just what's next? Like, what are your next steps for FetchAI?
We have quite a bit of an ambition. We want to democratize and the AI, and we want to democratize all the tools which come for AI and should be able to use. So we are launching different initiatives in different sectors. Healthcare is one. You could similarly apply connective learning into, for example, banking, where you could detect fraud. You could learn from all the transactions and make sure that every stakeholder can benefit from it. We're also looking into mobility, where we're enabling people to deploy their own mobility solutions rather than looking at big conglomerates who can actually deliver the service. So we're making creating and delivering service a lot easier for smaller businesses and individuals.
Now, are you looking for potential collaborators on this? And if so, how would somebody get in touch with you about that?
So we're always looking for collaborators because this is a decentralized project and it's a huge initiative, and we want small businesses, we want individuals to get in touch with us to deploy their own solution. We will provide them all the toolkits, we'll provide them all the tools necessary to build solutions on the platform. We have all channels. We have Slack, developer Slack channel, we have commercial Slack channels, we have Telegram, we have presence on the website. You can contact us via email. There's any way you feel like we have all of that on our website, so you can easily get in touch.
Okay. Well, thank you for the update, Hermione. It's great to see you again. Always interesting.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back. Electroneum is a crypto-based company, and they've been talking about expanding overseas. And with me is CEO and founder Richard Ells. And Richard, it's great to see you again and get an update on what Electroneum is doing.
Of course, wonderful. Thank you for inviting me on. Very kind of you. Nice to see you again. It's been busy. We're always crazy busy here. I think any new business is always going to be crazy busy. But when you're in a brand new industry as well as a brand new business, this is always going to be even more hectic. And I say new, I mean, we're nearly Electroneum and ETN has been started development in 2016, so one of the older cryptos, I suppose. But yeah, still new project.
Now, I know, and we've talked a few times, you really have this focus on bringing crypto to the unbanked. And I remember when we talked, you were focusing a lot on Turkey as well as some other countries. How is that going? And how has the pandemic impacted that? Has it accelerated it, slowed it down? What's been the impact you felt?
Well, yeah, when we set the whole thing up, we knew we wanted to make cryptocurrency really easy to access. And lots of people have said that their cryptocurrencies are for the unbanked. But it's easy to say and not so easy to do. So we set about right at the very beginning to make it very, very easy to get access to it. So we based the whole thing on smartphone ownership. So you don't need to own a desktop or a laptop. It's really easy to use. It's really easy to understand. So we've only got 2 decimal places rather than Bitcoin or most others have got 8 decimal places. So they're not very human things. We built an instant payment system. So we built these things to make it work in the real world. And that's how we started gaining that adoption that we've got, which is relatively large. We just topped over 4 million users. So yeah, adoption is good, and it's horrible to see COVID and what it's done to the world. We have got, perhaps I'll touch on it a little later, but we've got a freelance platform called Anytask, and that has actually really been benefiting, I think, from COVID because more people are looking at working from home or supplementing their income away to try and give them some more income.
Yeah, for sure. And would you say it's mass adoption? Have you gotten there yet?
No, I probably wouldn't say mass adoption. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, wow, you got 4 million is a large number in crypto." A lot of people really question that number. We've got 2.7 million. Now I think it must be more like 2.9 million app downloads on Android. We've actually got about 4.6 million registered users, but there are quite a few bots in there that we cleared out. But we've literally genuinely got millions of users, and I think a lot of people doubted those figures. So we brought somebody in from a company called Coin Intelligence, who was a known scam buster. His name's On Yadin. And we said, look, dig into our databases, have a look, and you'll still see that these are real numbers. And he was quite taken aback as well, because the numbers in crypto terms are big. So I will say we've had large adoption, but I wouldn't call it mass adoption, because PayPal has mass adoption. Visa, MasterCard have mass adoption. So it would be grossly unfair, I think, to say that any cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, have achieved mass adoption. So I am absolutely confident that we will have an order of magnitude over where we are now. I really do believe that.
Okay, interesting. Now, also, you've recently been the first cryptocurrency to voluntarily adopt KYC AML, so know your customer, anti-money laundering, and you've applied for FCA registration. So you're going to tell me what that is and how do you think that will benefit the company?
Okay, well, I'm a bit of a libertarian. I think most people in crypto are. But that being said, I'm also a businessman. I've been in business for 20 plus years, and I understand the real world. And the real world lives and breathes on regulations, rules, and law. And so I saw straight away that actually regulations are coming for crypto whether we like it or not. So we looked at what was coming at the time in 2017. There was a thing called the fourth European Anti-Money Laundering Directive. What had just been published that was yet to be implemented was called the fifth European Anti-Money Laundering Directive. So we just picked that up, wrote our AML system, our KYC system around that, knowing that one, it would drop into the fintech sector in London, which is where we're based, and secondly, that at some stage it would be picked up and pushed into the crypto asset world.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you. It is great to see you, even if it's on Zoom, and hope to meet in person, and best of luck with everything you've accomplished so far.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. It's nice to see you again. Hopefully we'll catch up in Malta.
In New York, in Malta, in London, somewhere when all this settles down. So great to see you. Richard Ells, CEO and founder of Electroneum. And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back. WhiteKeychain is an all-in-one decentralized financial ecosystem that makes lending, investing, and exchanging various digital assets pretty simple through blockchain technology, and it is open to anyone. Now, here we have the WaykiChain co-founder and CEO Gordon Gao with us to explain how it works. So, Gordon, great to have you all the way from China. I love Zoom because we can talk in real time around the world. I'm just fascinated by the whole technology.
Yeah, I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. So tell us about WhiteKeychain. What is it all about? Give us an overview of the company.
Yes. Well, we believe the traditional finance is not designed in a way for the best interest of the majority of people. There are inequities. The numbers show that the top 1% of people takes over 30% of treasure of the entire world, and the percentage is still increasing. The richest ladder can easily get the best interest rate from the bank and can invest in assets with good returns. But the average people get higher lending interest rate and lower saving rate. You will get nothing if you put money in your bank saving account this year, right? So what WhiteKeychain is doing is to break this inequity. We don't know who you are. We don't know where you're from. Every people get the same access to the best rate of saving and lending. Also, we provide opportunity to let people invest in the best assets around the world with nearly no entry barrier.
Okay, well, that sounds very interesting and democratic for average people who don't have an entry into some of the best deals in finance. So you're kind of trying to open this up for more people, right? I mean, how does that work? And you mentioned a little bit, go into a little more detail about solving the problems of traditional finance.
Okay, so first of all, traditional finance can be very costly. So when I was in Columbia University, my mom in China sent me some US dollars to my account for the life expenses. And I remember that clearly that $150 was charged just for the transaction fee. But on blockchain, the cross-border payment is much cheaper. So for example, on WaykiChain, no matter what amount of money you are transferring, the transaction fee is less than 1 cent. Also, there are many middlemen who will charge you a lot in traditional finance, like all the banks and investment banks like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. They make profit using their clients' money, right? But on blockchain, we eliminate middlemen as many as possible. And the system will also share the profit to the point holders. And the coin is available to all the public around the world. Another thing that is on blockchain, we break the gap between countries. For example, the common US investors are very hard to invest in Asia assets. But on blockchain, we can make it very easy through synthetic assets technology.
Okay, I mean, that's solves a lot of problems. It's really an entirely different model of finance,
Right.
and it's opening up countries through blockchain, which this technology is allowing us to do things we've never been able to do before. So now I've talked to a lot of blockchain companies. There's a lot of tokens out there. It's a fairly new technology, so a lot of people are kind of getting involved. What separates WhiteKeychain from some of the other companies in this space?
Unlike most of the other blockchains, WaykiChain is designed for DeFi, and DeFi is the abbreviation of decentralized finance. So we make so many improvements just for DeFi, and it is customized. If I can pick two features of the list, I would say security level and the performance. So first of all, we are one of the most secure blockchains around the world. Our CTO was in charge of one of the security team of Alibaba and even in Morgan Stanley. Also, WaykiChain is being audited every year by top security companies. Our blockchain has been online for over 2 years with zero attack happened.
Okay, and then what would be the benefit of using the WhiteKeychain platform versus another platform?
Yes, I think that is related to our product lines, right? We have 4 product lines. The first one is collateral lending. So far, we accept WaykiCoin as the collateral assets, and later Bitcoin and Ethereum will be accepted. So if people want to hold the long position of the cryptocurrency they're holding or digital assets they're holding, but at the same time, they want to get some liquidity, they can put their digital assets in our lending protocol and get some stable coins which can be turned into cash, or they can use the stable coins to make some other investment within the system. The second one is yield earning. The product will be online at Q3 this year. We give risk-free yield much higher than United States banks can provide.
Very interesting.
All yields are provided by the lenders, so it's totally risk-free. And the third one is crypto assets trading. So people can make coin-to-coin exchange here in our decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. And the fourth product line is the synthetic assets trading platform that I mentioned before. Users can invest in nearly all kinds of assets in the world without really holding it.
Okay, well, that sounds very exciting and interesting to see how this technology can change the world in a generation or so, how it's going to change finance globally. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gordon Gao, the founder and CEO of WhiteKeychain. Great to have you, and we'll be right back. Blockbike is a global exchange that provides traders with multiple fiat currencies paired with multiple base cryptocurrencies. And then to explain more about what's going on with Blockquake and what the future holds is CEO Antonio Brass. So great to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Jane.
Antonio, it's been a few months since we talked, so give me an update on where Blockbike is right now.
Sure, yeah, we're kind of in the process of going through final integrations and testing. We're really hoping to launch before the summer is out. Pushing really hard to finally make that happen. It's been a long journey. We just wanted to make sure we had the right partners, consider the right regulatory rules, compliance matters that are necessary in the space to get that all built in as we march toward launch. So yeah, it's really like every day is busy testing, being on the phone with vendors, video calls, you name it, just going through that. And of course, as a startup, still capital raise. So kind of those are the two things.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk to you about the partners you mentioned, but just real quick, kind of explain the pandemic. And has that accelerated your business, slowed it down, both? What kind of impact is it?
It actually, I hate to say it's not a good thing, but we learned how remote our capabilities really work. We were always built remote from the beginning. I don't think we ever looked at it that way, just because we like to meet in person as a team. Most of us are in New York. We have team members in other parts of the country or other parts of the world. But yeah, we really found out like, hey, we can function just as efficiently remotely. And one of the things that really helped us is that through the pandemic, we actually saw higher volatility, which meant more trading volume in the crypto space. So that is a great thing for us to point to investors or to anyone that we talk to, that, hey, the market's actually picking up despite the pandemic. Almost feels recession-proof.
Interesting. Okay, you mentioned partners. So let's go through these. Prime Trust, Fireblocks, and Secure Digital Markets. Do you want to tackle each one separately and kind of explain from a strategic point of view how that helps Blockquake?
Yes, so Prime Trust is both our banking and our KYC partners. So they are providing full KYC on our trading platform. Our perspective is that that's ultimately going to be required by any and all regulators. So we're just doing it now. And they're also going to be our banking partner as far as custodying the 6 fiats that we have: USD, Canadian, Euro, Pound, Australian, and Japanese yen. And they're also, through them, we're able to provide credit and debit cards to over 140 countries. So we do plan on marketing to the emerging markets and other countries outside of the US. Through Prime Trust, our users actually get an FDIC insured account as well. So that'll be a big thing in emerging markets where the political or economic climate may not be as stable as the U.S. So there'll probably be a draw of people that they want that safety that we'll be able to provide. So from those perspectives, that's what Prime Trust will provide us.
Now, Antonio, we've talked a few times, but for somebody maybe that's seeing an interview with you for the first time, just give an overview of what Blockquake does, because I know you're involved in a lot of different asset classes, and how can somebody use Blockquake?
Sure. So, we will have over 100 pairings when we launch. We'll have a lot of the top cryptos: your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, XLM, some of the top stablecoins like Tether, True USD, and those crypto or stablecoin assets will be paired against the 6 fiats that we have. So customers will be able to come on board with their local currency in one of those 6 regions, and if not in one of those places, they can still use the credit or the debit card to come in with their fiat, and then or their cash, and buy cryptocurrency directly on our platform. That's still a major problem in the space. A lot of crypto platforms don't have that fiat option. So us at Blockquake, our first product is this global cryptocurrency digital asset exchange that's really trying to offer the top crypto assets and then add more as we go, as well as allowing people to come on board with their money, and trying to be that one-stop shop. Out the gate, we're tackling certain aspects of it, but as we continue to grow, we'll continue to be more and more a one-stop shop.
Thank you, Antonio. It's great to have an update, and hopefully next time we can be back at the NASDAQ and when you actually launch, and we can talk about the launch.
Definitely, thank you.
Great, congratulations. I know you've worked really hard, so.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, and thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back. With us today is PascalCoin, and with me is Herman Schoenfeld, the CEO of PascalCoin Foundation, and also a core developer of PascalCoin. So welcome.
Thank you.
And also David Belay, the senior developer and mobile specialist with PascalCoin. So let's start with Herman. Just explain to me PascalCoin in 60 seconds.
Okay, so PascalCoin is a next generation cryptocurrency with the core mission of solving the scalability problem. So we're very much like Bitcoin, except we can actually scale for global adoption, which is something that a lot of other coins that are based on Bitcoin can't really do. So that's our main focus, and we're also a totally free and open source project as well.
Okay, and then David, how did you get involved in PascalCoin?
Yeah, well, in 2017, I was looking for projects to get involved to, because I was very interested in blockchain technology, and after reviewing a lot of code, I found PascalCoin, which definitely brings something different. It's not just a Bitcoin clone, and well, that's why I decided to collaborate with them.
And here you are. So,
yes.
And you teed up the next question very nicely, because I was going to ask Herman, how is PascalCoin different than other cryptocurrencies?
Okay, so the main difference with PascalCoin to other cryptocurrencies is that it's a totally unique architecture, and we have a new cryptographic data structure called the safe box. And that's really the core innovation of PascalCoin. And the safe box makes PascalCoin work more like traditional banks rather than how rather than how cryptocurrencies work today, which is quite complicated for the ordinary user. So the user experience of users of PascalCoin is very similar to how they would interact with the online banking system. And we also have a new a proof of work mining algorithm which decentralizes and provides a fair way to issue the currency into circulation. Whereas now with many cryptocurrencies, you're finding that their issuance is being issued to a core set of miners who have huge industrial mining warehouses, and they're really hoarding the coins. So it's a fairer, faster, better cryptocurrency.
Okay. And David, what is the mobile strategy?
Well, we have already an Android wallet, which is working, and now we are improving it. The first wallet was server-based, and now we are developing one wallet in which all the users will have all the keys, all the control inside their devices.
So what kind of technical innovations have you done with PascalCoin for blockchain in general?
Great question. So the real innovation of PascalCoin is that we've solved what's known as the blockchain trilemma. And that is that we have these three KPIs in the blockchain that are kind of inversely correlated. So when you vary one, you vary the other. And these are scaling, decentralization, and security. What you find with many other projects is that in order for them to scale more, which means that more users can use that system, they sacrifice security or they sacrifice centralization or decentralization. We at PascalCoin have definitively solved that issue. So we have maximal security, maximal decentralization, and maximal scalability without affecting any of the other KPIs. So that's really a fundamental innovation that Albert Molina, the founder of PascalCoin, has innovated blockchain with. As well, we've solved the infinite storage problem. So what happens is with traditional blockchains is that as more users begin to use them, that the amount of storage required to maintain that blockchain grows proportionally with the usage of that blockchain. With our system, we've solved that. Our storage is basically constant, and we can run theoretically at maximum throughput for hundreds of years and still fit on a mobile device today. And we've actually developed our own proof of work mining algorithm called Random Hash, which definitively solves this problem. And it basically optimizes mining for CPU users, and that means that the home user has more of a chance of actually mining the coin than someone with a hardcore ASIC or GPU device, which is quite common.
I hope you have been able to increase your knowledge and awareness of what a blockchain is and appreciate the solutions that the companies we interviewed today are implementing. The blockchain enables safety and security like we've never known. Until next time, go to exploringtheblock.com and keep learning.
Luxury Resales Reality Check. COVID-19's fallout on specialty retailers.